Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Provo, Utah for the sixth race in the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series. We're gearing up for 33 laps of action as we continue the West Coast Swing, second road course race on the season, second in a row. And Charles Sanford is on the pole for the second time this year. I am joined by Vince Freeze once again.
I'll make this quick, guys. It is a standing start day here at Provo, back to back in the state of Utah. Got some interesting strategy and notes to get along right now. Let's pass it off to Zach.
Continuing through the starting lineup is three-time winner on the season, Allison Rain, starting in second. Missed the top 10 for the first time all season last week at Miller Motorsports Park, along with her teammate, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Seth Cole, the road course ace, got a start in third. Keith Rich, fourth. He showed good speed at Sebring. Starting fifth is 2017 Sebring winner, Sumit Oskin. Dylan Young will start sixth. This is the sixth race in a row Dylan Young has qualified inside the top 10. Starting seventh, Nate Rogers. Eighth, Alex Ferranti. Ninth, Quinton Moore. And 10th, Logan Williams. As we go through the rest of the lineup, Vince, to our race notes and did not qualify list, please.
That window will be about 19 to 21 laps. Alexander Rowe in the field won 2018 race, the last time he raced here. Yepez, Flickinger, and Rain all coincidentally third, fifth, and seventh in that order. The 2018 race was 50 laps long. We're only doing 33 today. The fall off, I know the last couple weeks we've been pretty wrong on this. We're going to go with 2 to 3 seconds, maybe 4, but don't hold that to a stone. And we haven't raced here. The package has changed. The go and go home lap was a 103.8. It was a 101 back in 2018. Let's get onto that list. Scott Roush, Landon Smith Jr., Flickinger, Cole Hudson, Priya McShane, Derek Hamill, Bouchard, Trey Smith, all did not make the race. Scott Roush is the only one, I believe, that has only made one start, and that was at Daytona. And that is our pre-race notes. Zach, back to you.
And with Fitzwater and Rain failing to get a top 10 last week at Miller Motorsports Park, we now have 8 drivers tied with the most top 10s on the year. They are Charles Sanford, Allison Rain, Seth Cole, Sumit Oskin, Fitzwater, Sorlin, Dylan Young, and Nate Rogers. They all have 4 top 10s apiece. The following drivers have 3 top 5s, Charles Sanford, Allison Rain, and Seth Cole. Osmain Hamid is currently 16th in the points, so he is still top 25 in the points. Reminder, after race 25 of Pigs Creek, when the regular season ends, any winner inside 11th to 25th in the points will make the playoffs. Anybody top 10 of the points, whether they have a win or not, will make the playoffs. We're getting ready to go trackside. We're going to get the command, and then we're going to go green right after. Engines are fired, green flag is out, and we are underway in Utah. And it's Dylan Young and Logan Williams who get the biggest jump, 3 wide into turn 1.
Next starts is all about getting through the gears, guys, especially with the acceleration pattern that turn 1 is. Everyone made it cleanly. But right now it's Charles Sanford and the road course ace, Seth Cole and Dylan Young breaking away.
Looks like Allison Rain spun the tires a bit there, Vince. She was turning to the right, and now she's losing ground to Keith Rich. Dylan Young had the heck of a start. He went straight from 6th to 3rd. And Logan Williams, the rookie, he had a really good jump too. But like you said, it was all about getting through the gears right. In the past, we've seen with standing starts in the Cup Series that whoever's on pole usually has a tough time seeing the flag stand, and that usually hurts them on the green. But Charles Sanford just went right away, and Seth Cole in 3rd was able to follow him through. As we're already coming to the completion of lap 1, you know, as we mentioned, you know, it's only about 1 minute, 3 seconds around this place, so this race will fly by fast. It's only about a 1.8 mile road course.
Realistically, Zach, this is probably from experience, this is one of the hardest places to get a pass executed. It's easy to go side by side like you see right here. You got to be clear, as Keith Rich will, before we get to this next left-hander. And yeah, Allison Ray's going to tuck in there. Everyone made it clean. I'm surprised. Very clean opening lap at Provo. Usually turn 1 to the garbage dump, and the whole field executed that perfection.
So Allison Rain will go from starting 2nd to falling to 5th place. Strategy was not on the dot last week at Miller Motorsports Park for Several drivers, including 3 of the Evans Gardner Motorsports cars of Allison Rain, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., and Amanda Evans, really hurt their races. It has taken away Allison Rain's huge points lead and has her now tied with Charles Sanford at the top of the board. And Charles, who just got his first win in 2 years, over 2 years at that, he's looking to maybe go back to back. It is only lap 3, though. It's very early, but looking strong so far here over Seth Cole, who was challenging him for that win last week at Miller Motorsports Park.
For Cole, deja vu from last week. But like I said earlier, I think it's all about these couple complexes here in the middle. This track is very technical, but it's fast. It's one of those sweeping corners right here. Then you got to go down from, I can't see the gears, but probably 4th gear all the way down to 2nd or 1st gear. Then you got to accelerate through the shifts. And this right-hander, it's off camera, so you got to be careful. Watch here as he brakes. Yep, it just accelerates. Then you got pit road. Now there's not a lot of sand here, but sometimes during pit road you can see they go through the sand. And as you see, Oskin, Reigns doesn't have the pace today, Zach. I don't think he has the pace.
Yeah, and I was just looking at lap times, Vincent. These guys are running 101 lap times, so I think it's a weather effect. If you get the cloud cover like we have here today, you're able to get down and run those 61-second lap times. But when the sun's clearing out, they're running only about a minute 3 seconds. So I think that was a little bit of not verifying the weather on my part from the 2018 race there, but still running 101s here. So I think, the package mostly the same. I think the fall off might be the big thing to look at, but Charles Sanford's driving away. Dylan Young is closing up on Seth Cole for 2nd. Look at the way he just drove into that corner there. And as we just saw, Samet Oskin passed Allison Rain for 5th. How about Logan Williams in 7th place today? What a run. Sam Young in 8th. Man, all of Team Penske inside the top 10 right now. Ferrati holding strong in 9th with Quinton Moore in 10th. As Nate Rogers, who started inside the top 10, has fallen outside of it. Let's kind of just go through the field here a little bit, Vince. So Nate Rogers in 11th, put Jesse Turner up to 12th. You got Ace Rogers 13th, Sorlin 14th. There's the man who won this race back in 2018, Alexander Rowe. He's running in 15th place right now. Matthew Rodriguez inside the top 20. There's Nico Tringali. He's no longer a go-or-go-home driver. Him and Zach Flickinger. Got Cole Deaver racing with Jessica Shelton. Speaking of Zach Flickinger, coming into this race, he had a average starting position of 7th, and he did not qualify well here today at Provo. He finished well here, though, in 2018. We'll see if he can make his way to the front. Fitzwater also struggling in qualifying. Lane Sanders outside the top 20. Will Parrish, William Brock, James Ellison. There's Osmain Hamid racing with Amanda Evans. Andrew Rich, man, he's continuing to struggle this year. He is currently only 18th in the points with 2 top 10s. And he has just not been able to get things together on the roadies. Laura Chung, Logan York. There's Kev Shearer making his 3rd race in a row after missing the first 3. So he's trying to work his way up to the top 30 in the points. It's all about that top 30 race now, Vince, as Kukulon is once again struggling. Yepes, McIntyre, Onjak, Vargas, Carabel, and Foster Henderson. Back at the front, it's Seth Cole with a bumper full of Dylan Young.
Yeah, top 30 battle will be interesting. A couple things to note. Yepes is struggling. Zachary Fitzwater, as you said. Andrew Rich. But we're going to Denver next week. That should be interesting. He always is the Speedway ace. But Seth Cole right now seems to be backing up this second pack. It seems like a Sanford runs away. Is Dylan Young faster? And is Penske faster? That's for sure. Oskin and Young are up there. You see, just Dylan Young has more brake power in the one. I wonder if they flip-flop with the time be cut down. We'll have to see.
And we'll have to see what kind of strategy they give us too, Vince, because, the race...
Oh, yeah.
The race back in 2018 was 50 laps. It was a 2-stop event. You could do an overcut and an undercut. Today, it's only 33 laps. So, if you pit at lap 19, I think you're going to win this race. But if you can cut it in half more, I think, if you 16 laps or 17 laps could really work to your benefit. So we'll have to see if they go that route or if they opt to go as long as they can and maybe do some kind of two-tire gamble.
Season's been going. Who knows what's going to happen? We've seen anywhere from lap 3 pit calls to the Daytona 500, whatever that was. So I don't know. We will find out what the pit calls and strategists have up their sleeve today. Maybe these crew chiefs have learned after these first couple races that going ridiculous strategy mode is not going to help you in the playoffs when we get that time. But it's still early. Sanford seems to have the best car out here today. Maybe the cloudy conditions suit his style. Or maybe the rest of the field could just be waiting for that pit stop. We talked about pit distance a lot in this series. You don't want to be like like a tenth behind somebody entering pit road. Having that distance will allow you to make up time on pit entrance. You see Seth pull a little wide. There comes Dylan Young at the outside, but Seth should have the inside into this left-hander.
Dylan Young's going to outbrake him into the corner. Can Dylan Young get by Seth Cole? I'm really thinking, looking at this ticker, that Seth Cole and Logan Williams are holding up the people behind them. And there it is. Dylan Young will drive on by into second. Seth Cole not giving up just yet. Oh, he got a better drive off there. And now Allison Rain is challenging Oskin for 5th place.
Just allowing Sanford to run even more. I think this gap's around 2.5.
It went up a full second to 3 seconds. Seth Cole's going to try and pass him back. You see the other half of the track there. Dylan Young seems to be better on, and now Seth gets it back in the first half. And now Keith Rich is challenging Dylan Young for 3rd. So what looked like to have been Dylan Young finally getting by Seth Cole has now turned into Dylan Young falling from 3rd to 4th if Keith Rich gets by him. And Keith Rich will clear.
Dylan Young mistimed the pass, and that's the problem with this place. You mistime it with the way the corners shift left to right to left to right. I don't know. Young needs to have a miracle here because I think Rich should have the line. Does he have the exit, though? Nope.
And Allison Rain got back by Oskin for 5th. Dylan Young will finally get in line, but he lost a spot to Keith Rich, and they lost over a second of time to Charles Sanford. You see behind them, Logan Williams is kind of just sitting here boxing everybody up behind him too. Sam Young unable to make any kind of move. Ferranti has fallen down to 10th. He was 11th at the start-finish line. Jesse Turner trying to crack the top 10. But you can just see that behind Logan Williams, everyone's just kind of boxing up. Fitzwater's trying to do his best to make moves when he can. As that's a battle with Matthew Rodriguez for 18th place, and he'll take it with ease. So you're seeing the experience guys really come to life now, Vince. Guys like Logan Williams. Logan's just kind of, I think, slower because he has less experience, but, Seth Cole just seems to not have as good of a car as Dylan Young. As up here, they're running 102.2s, while Logan Williams is back there running 103.0s. And that just really shows you the difference in the experience gap.
Sam Young's also a rookie. Maybe it's just the rookies holding up the vets. Like Quinn Moore, he needs to make the move now. 10 seconds behind is not going to get you a top 5. There's no way with the pit stop delta around here, unless you screw up pit road entry. This might be a race for second, man. I don't know. Sanford seems to be gone. Who gets second might be the key. Because you want to be about a second and a half behind, believe it or not, entering pit road if you take an undercut strategy. When you're about 4 seconds back, you got to hope that Sanford will stay out an extra lap to cut that deficit. And then Sanford will have the fresher tires. That's what it's going to be all about, that lap 16 to 18 window.
And the other question of it is if Dylan Young does get by Seth Cole, does he have the faster car to catch Charles, or is Dylan really the second place guy here?
Moment, I would say Seth Cole has got his legs, I like to say. He got his land legs back. And seems to be putting on a clinic in terms of just holding off Dylan Young, but Young just gets a better run through certain parts, like turn 1. He's breaking way deeper. Down here up in turn 2. Probably going to break a little deeper too. Let's watch. Yep.
That last time by, Dylan Young was 0.3 of a second faster than Seth Cole, and Seth Cole was only a tenth slower than Charles Sandford. So not sure if that's draft, but now you can see Dylan Young and Seth Cole pulling away as Allison Rain looks to get past Keith Rich for 4th place.
And just yeah, we know well, Ray won Sebring. Austin, he seems to have been one of the most consistent guys this year. I know, despite some of the times he'll make interesting comments post race, he seems to be one of the most interesting guys this year, and we have to watch out for him. And it's just like Logan Williams too, still holding up, and Dylan Young looking for second.
He's peeking the nose there. Will he make the dive into turn 1? Coming on the lap 13 of 33. That time by, Seth Cole actually gained a 10th back on Charles Sandford. But these are the drivers gone. And there you see Quinton Moore making a move on Sam Young for 8th. You see Jesse Turner has made it into the top 10, so Alex Ferranti has started to fall back. Alexander Rowe making up some moves there. That was for 12th place with Nate Rogers, as you see Fitzwater also trying to close the distance. Sorlin falling in line behind Jesse Turner, so now everybody is trying to get by Sam Young. We'll see how many of them are able to get by Logan Williams. That's 3 wide behind them. Fitzwater, Cole Deaver, and Ferranti.
Deaver made a nice slingshot move. He had the draft from Fitzwater and pulled down to turn 2. Now, Fitzwater should have the line on the switchback, but then Deaver will have the line on the switchback to the final turn there. Yep. Equal. Yep, there we go. That's Deaver's run. Start finish line.
About James Ellison up here in the top 20. Pretty sure he didn't start inside the top 20. So good run for Ellison. He's up 17th there at the start finish line. This is his, trying to find him on the point standings, his 4th race this year in the Cup Series. He's yet to finish inside the top 10. You know, we talk about, you know, the rookies and the depth of talent now entering the 5th season of Cup, Vince, and, you know, experience matters so much. It's so tough to get a top 10 just as a rookie, you know, if it's not at like a super speedway type track. Because now you see Logan Williams is getting past. Quinton Moore made it by him. Sam Young's trying to pass him back. So now that they got Logan Williams out of the way, in a manner of speaking, everyone's starting to get by him, Vince.
Yeah, it's all about the matter of the rookies just don't have the race experience. They'll learn as they grow, though, as they like to say.
Up ahead, Dylan Young has fallen behind Seth Cole once again as the lead is kind of plateaued at 3.8 seconds behind Charles Sandford. And I really feel like Dylan Young's just got to kind of make some kind of strategy game here to get by Seth Cole. Because it looked like in the beginning that he had a fast car, just as fast to compete with Charles Sandford, but he has just been unable to get the job done.
Tire fall off is key here, but not really so much tire fall off. It's corner entry and corner exit. This place is all about corner entry. With so few corners, a 10th in turn 1, 10th in the last turn, that feels like a second. Just a loss.
Oh, here we go. Dylan Young's going to make a pit. He's going to pit first. Here coming the lap 16.
We talked about, you said that right on the nose.
So this is coming to 18 to go. So the assumption here is that you can make it 18 laps. We know we've seen people make it 19 before. But yeah, Dylan Young comes in by himself. That's going to give him a clean racetrack too, Vince.
That's the call. I mean, you got to do something different. You're not going to make up 5 seconds on merit. Might as well try something different. Now, he has to hope Sandford keeps staying out. If Sandford takes an overcut strategy, this could work perfectly.
Oh, you know what happened at Sebring, Vince? Charles stayed out 2 laps compared to Allison Rain and Fitzwater, who pulled a similar move like this, and it did not work out in his benefit, but he is not coming down the lap after Dylan Young, and nobody else up here in the front runners are either. Everybody else back here, Quinton Moore on back, they are 9 seconds behind Allison Rain. Really can't hope to make any gains here. They're basically racing for 6th to 10th at this point. As Logan Williams has really fallen through the running order now. And nobody else pitting. So a very interesting call from Dylan Young.
Dylan Young didn't underplay this and has to stop. Well, we saw that last week with Fitzwater and the Evan Gardner crew. But I think he's got this. If the trends say 18 and 19 on the field window, we haven't really been wrong on the field window trends. Just the crews have been shaky. We'll see.
Well, they can make it from here now. They're on lap 17. It's effectively the halfway lap. Now, the fall off is up to about 3 seconds, so Dylan Young gains 3 seconds a lap. He should have a theoretical 4-second lead. As now Charles Sanford and Seth Cole will pit. Keith Rich and Oskin will stay out. I really don't think the overcut's going to help you here. As everybody behind Logan Williams got held up so much, I don't think they really used this much fuel. And none of them are coming to pit road at all. Oh, we got one. Will Parrish is going to come in. That might help Will Parrish because he was 34th at the line. So this is essentially an undercut move for him, Vince. This could pay out big for Parrish.
It's going to be paying out big. Now, where's Dylan Young? That's the $1 million cue right now. There he is. Where's Sanford? Oh, man. Dylan Young. What a move.
Here he goes. And remember, it takes a lap for the tires to warm up.
Dylan Young's going to be running away with this thing, man. Now, he's going to get caught.
Dude, if he gets in the lap traffic, though, man. He's catching traffic back here. Let's see who's pitting next. It looks like everyone else is coming in. Oskin, Keith Rich. They were the two left at the front to pit.
Hey, right now, this pit road's going to be a busy place. Look at all these people coming down. This is
Tringali will stay out. Ace Rogers, Jessica Shelton, Logan York will stay on the track, and a handful of others. It's pretty much everybody else is coming in. But there's Dylan. There's Dylan Young. This could hurt Dylan Young because you've got cars on old tires, and Charles Sanford is not that far back. So if Dylan Young gets held up by just one of these cars, it's going to kill his undercut.
Nice 2.5 second lead. Dylan Young.
Oh, he ran him over. Oh, he turned Christian Vargas off the track.
Dylan. Wow.
He closed up so fast, Vince. I don't think Dylan Young was expecting to close that much.
Have you ever seen that one? That's Dylan Young saying, I got to go, buddy.
I don't know if Dylan got any performance damage from that, though. That was a pretty decent amount of contact from his front end. You know, Christian Vargas' back end crumpled up. Now he's catching Samuel Dyer. He will make a move to the left side of him, and Dylan Young's like, I got to go, bro. Charles is coming.
People are still staying out. That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would wait this long to stay out or pit. But Dylan Young will take the lead back here. We'll really be able to see what the margin is. Now just think, all those guys are going a lap down, Vince. And this is
stupid call.
1.8 mile track. All right, so the gap is 2.6 seconds. It looks like Dylan Young was hurt by about a second there, but Charles only ran a 102.1. So Charles didn't make use of his tires on that lap. Third place is Seth Cole. Fourth, Rain. Fifth, Oskin. What we expected. Keith Rich is still in sixth. I mean, that just shows like they had 9 seconds on the rest of the field. They could stay out as long as they wanted to see if the overcut would potentially work at all. There you see Quentin Moore is in 7th, Turner 8th, Sorlin 9th, and look at James Ellison inside the top 10, Vince.
He must have had a clean pit road, and he actually had a good stop for once. We saw last week he had probably one of the worst stops we've seen.
Tringali just came out doing the overcut, so this should be interesting to see. I'm not sure if he took 2 tires, though, because Cole Deaver is flying on him. Look at Will Parrish, Vince. He gained like 20 spots from his undercut.
Back, get to the front. Do what everyone else doesn't. Great move there.
So now you really got to wonder. So Tringali just came out of pit road, so his tires are getting warmed up, but I'm not sure if he took 2 or if he took 4. We're going to find out here in a minute, but if he took 4, he's looking pretty good. Maybe a shot at the top 10. But the lead up front is 3.4 seconds from Sanford to Dylan Young. And Dylan Young ran a 101.1. Charles only ran a 101.8. As Alex Ferranti had a terrible pit stop. He's down to last place. I never expected, we didn't expect lap traffic at Miller Motorsports Park, Vince, but I guess I never even thought about lap traffic here, but it is a short road course, so not really surprising that we would see lap traffic here because of how much faster the guys at the front were compared to the guys at the back.
Young's benefiting from draft laps. There's no way he would lose the tire fall from the beginning, but he has more laps on the tires, and that draft is keeping him in place. Now, even if Sanford makes up time, now lap cars, the more Young puts cars down, the more Sanford has to avoid. We'll see. I think Dylan Young needs to pace himself here. Still a long way to go.
Just think, look at that. So this is kind of like Sebring in a way, where, we had lap cars pulling. I believe it was Jonathan Zorlin through the corners because they have that fresher tire. So Ferranti's out here on that fresher tire by about 3-4 laps. So he is going to pull Dylan Young through the corners because he just has all that much more grip. So this will be very interesting to see play out. We're coming to what would be 11 to go.
Fitzwater?
And Fitzwater is back here. Amanda Evans.
Sam Young,
all with bad pit stops. Zach Flickinger. Logan Williams, Nate Rogers. I don't know if this was from staying out or what. Look at this. Christian Vargas got wrecked, and he's higher up than those guys. So that's interesting. Not really sure what would have caused that.
Is Fitzwater going to fire his pit crew a second time this week?
Maybe potential just pit road got so clogged up. I don't know if there were maybe penalties or problems on pit road, but Fitzwater, second week in a row at a road course, having trouble. Osmain Hamid, 33rd. Lane Sanders, 32nd. Andrew Rich, 31st. Now, we know Andrew is not really the road course guy. He's more of an intermediate guy. But he usually doesn't do this terrible on a road course. So tough to see him doing so not so good today. Matthew Rodriguez, 30th. Laura Chung, Foster Henderson, Samuel Dyer, RJ Bishop put Cara Bell top 25. Peter Onjak, 24th. Edwin Justice, Diego Yepes, Levi McIntyre. Sebastian Kugelon is the first man inside the top 20. Logan York, Ace Rogers, Stephen Colon, William Brock, Alexander Rowe, top 15. Will Parrish, Jessica Shelton, Nico Tringali. Definitely looks like Tringali took 4 tires to me. And then Cole Deaver, first man outside the top 10. As looking at the lap times, Ellison and Deaver are about even. So Ellison might get his first top 10 on the year. Good day for Jesse Turner there in 8th. You see Sorlin in 9th. Quinton Moore in 7th. And then the front runners are just kind of chilling by themselves. Vince, Keith Rich in 6th. Oskin in 5th. Allison Rain is closing up on Seth Cole for 3rd. As Charles Sanford has been unable to close the gap. And I think you're right, Vince. I think the draft laps from Ferranti are the cause of it. So, we thought we would see Charles start closing it in a little bit. But Dylan Young has been able to use Ferranti to pull him on the straightaways despite the older tires in the corners.
He's only using maybe 90% throttle. That's it. He doesn't have to go 100% throttle. He'll save some fuel too if he was close on fuel. Then Dylan Young, whoever's that crew chief there, that's probably the best call of the season, I would have to say, behind the Fitzwater crew at Sebring.
Look at the fastest lap time on the day. Allison Rain ran a 1:08.883. And that is an outlier of a lap time if I've ever seen one.
Second faster in qualifying for him, I believe, or some crazy number.
Dylan Young gains another 2.5 tenths. I mean, the draft is just really helping out Dylan Young, and you hate to see it for Charles Sanford because if he had Pitt a lap sooner, he would probably have been right behind Dylan Young. I mean, he might have wrecked. He might have wrecked into Dylan Young behind Christian Vargas for all we know,
Yeah.
because that was insanity. We'll have to take another look at that incident too after the race. But otherwise, we have been, incident free. Everybody's still on the lead lap. Just everybody in front of Dylan's got fresher tires. But you hate to see it for Fitzwater. Logan Williams, man, was doing good earlier. You hate to see it for him. Same with Nate Rogers. And Vargas, though. Vargas is probably kind of mad. He's probably kind of mad Dylan Young just didn't pass him, but crazier things have happened. So the running order is not really changing. I think Will Parrish has that undercut. We might see him lose a few spots. Right now he's trying to hold off Alexander Rowe and William Brock. See, Tringali is faster than Cole Deaver. He might be able to get 11th from him. Sorlin is trying to challenge Jesse Turner for 8th. We talked about points, Vince. Every position inside the top 10 from 6th to 11th, it's separated by 2 points. So 32 points in 11th, 34 points for 10th, up 2 points per position. The difference from 6th to 5th is 3 points, 5th to 4th, 3 points, 4th to 3rd, 3 points. And then 3rd to 2nd, 4 points, and then 2nd to the win is 5 points.
It's all about consistency in this series. Although you can get the win, you still got to maintain a points position, whereas consistency will just get you straight up in the top 10 in points and make the playoff. That's just to me, right? Hamit's the only one we're on the kind of the bubble watch. Everybody else for now in the top 10 is secured. We got a long season to go, 35 race season. Playoffs don't start for another couple months. I mean, you got a long way to go. It should be all about just focusing on this race and this race only. Is that 4.6 seconds, Dylan Young?
It is 4 seconds, Dylan Young.
Oh, my screen's a little laggy, my bad.
Allison Rains still trying to get past Seth Cole for 3rd. As winning the regular season championship doesn't really get you anything this year because of the new format. Everybody will be set at equal points because it's all about just winning the race in those first 9 playoff races so that you're eligible for the championship in the final race. Charles closed in the gap a little bit there, but time has kind of run out. We're down to 5 laps to go, and I think Dylan Young, he's starting to lose that draft on Ferranti, Vince. Charles, that might be what can help Charles, but I think it's just too little too late.
It's only 10 miles to go. That's the problem. It's too short of a. If this was Sebring, oh yeah, and Sanford's right there. If this was last week, oh, forget about it. He's there. But it's only a 1.8 mile course, as you mentioned at the top of the show. And maybe Young, that's what he wanted. Just back off a little bit, cool the tires down, don't overheat the brakes. We know he overheated them when he did the Vargas, but Dylan Young seems to have this under control. And just save fuel too, where you don't want to lose, just in case.
And if he can make it on fuel, Vince, because, I mean, we saw some guys go 19 laps. So the theory here is that Dylan Young can make it, as Charles will lose 2/10 that time after closing the last lap. But I'm wondering if Dylan Young's crew chief saw what Jonathan Sorlin did at Sebring, where, he pit so early that he was, like at the end of the run, he was getting pulled from lap cars. And I'm wondering if Dylan Young's crew chief saw that and said, what if we reverse that? What if instead of staying out so long that we're getting pulled by lap cars, we pit so early that we catch the lap cars while they're still on old tires, and then when they come out on their new tires, we can just get pulled by them because it works here because this track is so short.
In layman's terms, Dylan Young's crew chief said, "Do you know the periodic table? Because we're going to show you the element of surprise." and he really did pull a surprise hat right there. The Mad Hatter maybe on the top of the two crew chief right there. But it seems like Dylan Young is, like you said, is drifted away from Ferranti and is in cruise control. And Sanford is not making any inroads, really.
Charles closed back up about 2/10 that lap. You see, when the draft goes away, yeah, Ferranti is gone now at this point, but Dylan Young is still getting, I think, a whiff. But Allison Rain has made it by Seth Cole for third. And Samet Oskin is closing up, maybe going to try and challenge for fourth. Keith Rich, though, you can see is just kind of chilling on his own little island here in sixth. Quinton Moore, same thing, seventh. Sorlin has made it by Jesse Turner for eighth. As it looks like Deaver, Tringali, and Shelton are closing slowly on Ellison and Turner, but I don't think they're going to have enough time to get there. It's 2 laps to go this time by, Vince, and what that usually means is if you take the start-finish line at 2 to go, you're not showing any signs of coming down the pit road.
What can we say about Dylan Young, man? He's been really consistent qualifier, and I do remember saying in my preseason predictions, if he qualified well, he could definitely win one at a place like this where track position is everything. Seems to have come to fruition today, but I got to give props to that crew chief. What a call.
Dylan Young's stats coming into this race: 1 top 5, 4 top 10s, an average finishing position of 10.8, an average starting position of 4.6. So Dylan Young has been really good in qualifying. Even today, started 6th, top 10 all season long. I believe the lowest he has started has been 8th. He'll be coming to take the white flag this time by, looking for his second career win and first of 2021. It would also be his first win on a road course in his career. White flag in the air for Dylan Young. And you can see Charles is kind of closing it in, but it's just too little too late at this point.
Just want to move. We talked about this, right? When you have a 1.8 mile road course, anything past 2 seconds is hard to make up on merit. And Dylan Young just saw with the crew chief, he had some input, had to run through Vargas, and got the win as long as he makes it through this final back half.
I mean, Allison Rain just closed 0.8 of a second on Dylan Young that lap. So I'm not sure if Allison Rain just made, like, their team made the adjustment of the race there. But Dylan Young's just got to get through these last few corners. And he'll be a winner in 2021. Strategies, Vince. Strategies get you wins on tracks like this. And today, it'll be Dylan Young getting the win at Provo. Dylan Young wins for the first time in 2021. Second career win for the driver of the number 2.
Deuce gets it done on the red outline Provo Motorsports Park.
Charles Sanford finally closed a good chunk of time that lap, but man, if I think if Dylan Young didn't have to draft the Ferranti's car, I think Charles would have got there a lot sooner. Because it was a 2-lap difference of tires, but that draft, man, what a great strategy call. They just placed Dylan Young right behind a lap car. That damage with Vargas didn't hurt him at all. What a day for Dylan Young. What a day.
Making it happen. Ellison missed down the top 10. Wow.
And Ellison, man, Tringali got there. He got by Cole Deaver, and he got by James Ellison. So no rookies in the top 10 today, man. Ellison 1 spot short. Allison Rain was charging there at the end. She gets 3rd. Oskin got by Seth Cole at the end there for 4th. Keith Rich 6th. Quinton Moore 7th. Sorlin 8th. Turner 9th. And Tringali 10th. Will Parrish ended up falling down to 20th as we predicted from his undercut. There you see the rest of the finishing results. Everybody finished on the lead lap. Fitzwater got it back up to 37th there, Vince, but they were 4 seconds behind Nate Rogers, so nothing more he could really do there. A tough race for a lot of people. Andrew Rich was able to get the 30th. But what a day for Dylan Young. That'll do it for us here. We're going to take a quick look at that contact again with Christian Vargas, but next week we head to Denver. But yeah, let's take a look at that replay there with Dylan Young and Christian Vargas. Taking a look at the incident here on Dylan Young's onboard. You know, he had just come out of pit road. And there's a decent amount of distance between him and Christian Vargas, but the fall off, 3 seconds, Vince. You got to break a lot earlier when it's like that. And just, oh, look at the closing distance.
And he's going to do a little bit of a bumper tap right there.
And at this point,
pushing him.
Yeah, Dylan's just saying, come on, dude, can't you hit the gas yet? And I mean, I don't even think Dylan has an idea at this point. Oh, and he just spins him out. Oh, Dylan got loose from this, too. Vargas was going so slow anyway, he never even got to the tire barrier. But, man, if that had held up Dylan Young anymore, I wonder if he wouldn't have even had draft from Ferranti in the first place. But, wow. Dylan Young, your winner here at Provo. Several drivers with issues on pit road. Hurts their day big time. But we'll see you guys next week for Denver as we go back to some oval racing in the Digital Storm Cup Series.